This is a CBC podcast.
CPA 21, how do you read?
I really want to know what happened, and it makes me extraordinarily angry that it's always been a big secret.
Uncover Bomb on Board, investigating the biggest unsolved mass murder in Canada, CP Flight 21.
Get the Uncover podcast for free on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
Available now.
Hey Canada, are you ready to see Bust a Gut? From North Vancouver, it's The Debaters! The Debaters, where comedians fight with facts and funny, and this audience picks the winner. Now here's a man who's very good at his job, Steve Patterson.
Hey! Hello, Canada! Welcome back to The Debaters. We are in North Vancouver, home to the fabled Grouse Mountain, or as some call it, Mother Nature's Stairmaster. I guess that's an okay analogy, as long as you don't tell me what you think Mother Nature's Thigh Master is. That gives a whole new meaning to the grouse grind, though, doesn't it? Anyway, ready to meet two debaters who will climb any mountain? Let's do it. This comic compares apples to oranges, and he's decided on bananas. It's Jacob Samuel. There he is. Jacob Samuel taking the lectern to my left, smiling and ready. And this comic is sorry he even brought it up. It's Wes Borg. Wes Borg, striding onto the stage purposefully over to my right. This topic, I'm told, is perfect for BC. Plans. Is it okay to cancel them? This is a good one for Vancouver because British Columbians are notorious for canceling plans. They are so notorious, there's something known as the BC Bail. BC Bail. Which, when I heard it, I thought it was what Elizabeth May needed after she was arrested protesting pipelines. But it's not. In Vancouver, there's the Vancouver intention. It's when you say you're going to do something, but you never make actual plans to do it. Like having at least one legal weed store open in Vancouver when weed became legal. Anyway, whereas it can be seen as a sign of disrespect, be it resolved it is not okay to cancel plans. Jacob, you're arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. If Wes Borg thinks that it's okay to cancel plans, then why is he here today? You could have easily won this debate by just bailing on us last minute, but instead, you showed up like you planned. Need I say more?
Yes, you do.
It's not okay to cancel plans, and I know this is a tough argument to make here in Vancouver, where not showing up to things is the local pastime. Right? Call it what you will. The BC Bail, the Richmond Runaround, the North Shore Nap, the West End, what about next week? 8 years ago, I moved to Vancouver from Toronto. And today, most of my friends in this city are people from Alberta. I didn't move to Vancouver to make friends with Albertans, but that's who's reliable. People here canceled on me when I was trying to make friends so much that it gave me anxiety. I get nervous as soon as I just see a little bit of rain. Because all it takes for people here to bail is just a mild change in weather. That's the dirty secret about Vancouverites. You all say you hate the rain, but the truth is, you love it. Because it gets you out of doing stuff. The way I made all my first friends in this city was by sticking to plans. I would meet a woman, and then I would ask her on a date. And then at the end of the date, she'd be like, listen, Jacob, let's just be friends. And I'd go, yes, that was always my plan. What are we doing tomorrow? Thank you.
Jacob Samuel is against canceling plans, and that was a great argument. Thank you, Jacob. Now, to tell us that plans were meant to be broken, it's our stay-at-home hero, Wes Borg.
Thank you. Canceling plans is great. In BC, it is a point of provincial pride. Here in Vancouver, if the sun ever shows up, all plans are officially canceled. And where I live in Victoria, the ferries are so unreliable, we're surprised if anyone shows up for anything. Time is precious and shouldn't be spent adhering to a bunch of dumb, made-up plans. A person who makes plans is always trying to live in the future. But a person who cancels at the last minute, well, that cat is living in the now, man. Oh, yeah. I learned that from yoga. So many things in history would have been better if the plans had been canceled. World Wars I and II. Microbead toothpaste. Nickelback. In conclusion, and to answer your first point, sir, and you are not going to like this, the only reason I'm here tonight, and this is absolutely true, is because another comedian canceled his plans. I had no plan to be here, and I canceled every plan I had in Victoria to get here. I'm only making sweet, sweet CBC AM radio money because of canceled plans. I'm buying a boat. Thank you.
Wes Borg with a surprisingly amazing argument on behalf of canceling plans. I did not see that coming. All right, debaters, it is time for the bare knuckle round. We're debating whether it's okay to cancel plans, so make no reservations about it. No show other than the debaters gives you pair of Terminators the chance to say you stood up for something. If you don't show up to this date with Destiny, the audience will get RSVP'd off. And I just won't be party to that. Now, let's get into this before this show is canceled.
Wes, how can you say that canceling plans is like World War I and World War II? That's crazy. That doesn't mean anything.
Sure it does.
The only way you can use world wars as an excuse for not showing up to things is if you were in those wars.
I don't know which wars I bothered to show up in. You know, let me just say to you. I have a friend, okay, and she's a vet.
Sure.
And if we're supposed to have dinner and she has to cancel her plans, well, it's because she's in the ER trying to remove Batman from a 3-month-old Cocker Spaniel. So you and all your plan lovers would have killed that puppy. And possibly Batman.
Oh, no, I do not think that Batman should be killed. I do think he should be severely reprimanded for not following the rules. You know who the pro athletes of canceling plans are?
Who?
Politicians. So if you've ever elected someone and then they just didn't follow through on any of their promises, Wes thinks that's fine. He loves them.
Yeah. Okay. You know who the pro athletes of keeping plans are? Murderers. Oh, they kept their plans just fine, didn't they?
That's the bare knuckle round. It's time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on whether or not it's okay to cancel plans, brought to you by the Honey Council of BC. The Honey Council of BC. We always go with Plan B. In 2018, the Port of Vancouver canceled what due to cost? Wes.
Winter.
Very fortunate. The actual answer, the Port of Vancouver in 2018, due to cost, canceled the Canada Day parade. What do you do then? Just drink and wave a flag around yourself like I do? Okay. In an online survey of 2,000 individuals, 80% admitted that they do what to avoid keeping plans? Jacob.
Have children.
Anyone in here who does not agree does not have children. In an online survey of 2,000 individuals, 80% admitted that they lie to avoid keeping plans.
Well, yeah.
80 seems almost low for that. It seems like 100% of people lie. In 1997, Neil Young was forced to cancel a European tour after he injured himself doing what? Wes.
Rocket in the free world.
You would think, but no. Jacob?
No, he injured himself when he, for the first time, sang in tune.
Well, this crowd gets set off by the weirdest things. I will not have Neil Young sullied on the national radio. He was forced to cancel a European tour in 1997 after he injured himself making a sandwich. That's the firing line, everybody. All right. It is almost time for our theater audience to pick the winner, but first, here again to tell us why he prepares to put down plans, it's commitment canceller, Wes Borg.
If you want to make the gods laugh, create a plan, is something some famous old dead person once said. And he or she was right, because plans are stupid. In fact, all social obligations are stupid. When people say, we should get together, they don't mean it. They never have. It's like when you say, I love you or I'm sorry. It's meaningless. Canceling plans is the nicest thing you can do and makes life easier for everybody involved. Because let's face it, nobody wants to hang out with your flaky ass either. Canceling your plans will be an enormous relief to everyone because you are miserable company. Okay, that's me. Vote for me.
Wes Borg with a refreshingly honest closing argument on why canceling plans is good. Now, here again to tell us that once it's in the calendar, it may as well be in stone. It's plan keeper, Jacob Samuel.
Look, I'm not above canceling plans. I'm actually a recovering flake myself, okay? But I discovered there's a better way to get out of doing stuff than canceling, and that's just to say no to things. I have so much respect for people who refuse to make a bad plan, because you're sacrificing your likability to save everyone's time. You're a hero. Hurling yourself onto a social grenade. I don't know who the first Vancouverite was to say no. I never want to go to beach yoga. But they deserve a Canadian heritage moment. Thank you.
Jacob Samuel says, keep your plans. It is time for the audience to vote. By your applause, pick your winner. Who thinks that Jacob's plan promise packed a punch? Jacob Samuel. Wow. Big support there for Jacob. And who thinks Wes's plan canceling comedy killed it? Wes Borg. My God. It's very close. The winner is Wes Borg. Go ahead and cancel plans. Big hand for Wes Borg and Jacob Samuel, everybody.
Hey, Debaters fans, we have a podcast. Subscribe today to have episodes and bonus content sent straight to your device. Go to cbc.ca/thedebaters for more. Now, back to Steve Patterson.
Hey, North Van, are you ready to meet your next pair of debaters? All right, let's do it. When this comic breaks up with musicians, he says, it's not me, it's ukulele. It's Abdul Butt. Abdul Butt, making his way to the lectern to my left. He looks ready. And this comic always goes the distance from the wings to the podium. It's Erica Sigurdsson. Erica Sigurdsson, looking confident, as always, as she crosses over to my right. This topic is a pretty darn good one for the city of Vancouver. Airbnb, should everyone use it? Now, for those who don't know, Airbnb is a website that allows you to find a place to stay in someone's home or host travelers in your place. Everybody knows what B&B stands for, but the air comes from the founders wondering if they could rent out an air mattress in their living room for $200 a night. That's the entrepreneurial mindset. They see an air mattress on the floor, billion-dollar idea. I see an air mattress on the floor, I think, if I filled that thing with helium, I could store it on the ceiling. That's why I'm here. Anyway, let's see how high this debate floats. So, whereas many cities have considered banning it, be it resolved no one should use Airbnb. Abdul, you're arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes. Starting now.
Thank you, Steve. Airbnb options are very sporadic. You can rent a house, an apartment, a camper, or a room in a camper. It's like Expedia with mood swings. Before you can rent, though, you must first be approved by the camper's owner. Yay! Glad I qualified to sleep on your bed/table. I'm not biased. I've tried it. I once rented a whole converted garage to myself. After my approval, I was sent a coordinated map with directions to the keys. Who needs a hotel concierge? What I want is a recon mission when I'm checking in. The keys were in a lockbox down an alley attached to a light post with 30 other lockboxes around it. Is this what my host meant by the neighborhood is trending? People say, yeah, but you can read the reviews written by real people. No, thank you. I'm good with not seeing photos of all the slobs who slept in those sheets before me. I once found a big toenail clipping on the floor at an Airbnb rental. I was able to search the reviews and pinpoint the German tourists with Birkenstocks who left it. Great system. Some hotels have 24-hour room service. All Airbnbs have is whatever the last guest left in the freezer. I understand the appeal to earn extra money by hosting, but personally, I don't want to spend a rainy Saturday in my apartment with some Norwegian couple asking for suggestions on Asian fusion restaurants. If you want to fuse something, grab 2 different things from the freezer and cook it. Thank you.
Abdul Butt says no to Airbnbs. Thank you, Abdul. Now, to tell us that Airbnb is A-okay with her, it's hilarious holidayer Erica Sigurdsson.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Airbnb is more than a place to stay. It's a chance to help pay off the Yaletown condo your host never should have bought. With a hotel, you check in and go to your room and just sit there hoping you're not murdered. With Airbnb, check-in is a real adventure, most often involving trying to figure out which lockbox is yours. Not everyone wants a private suite when they travel. Sometimes you're looking to meet a new friend, or more accurately, you're a Canadian comedian on tour who can't afford a hotel room on your night off in Red Deer. I've only once stayed in an elderly lady's spare room, and sure, the next morning I woke up and the bedroom door was open and her cat was on the bed with me. But on the plus side, she had French braided my hair while I slept. It saved me so much time. I recently stayed at an Airbnb in Paris and got to live in a real French neighborhood. I knew exactly what it felt to be treated rudely. We should all use Airbnb, staying in real neighborhoods to know what it feels like as a local. For example, all you North Vancouver people can rent a place in West Vancouver and see what your life would be like if you worked a little bit harder. Thank you.
Erica Sigurdsson throwing out some shade there at the end. It's time now for the bare knuckle round. We're debating to Airbnb or to not Airbnb. That is the question. So make yourself at home, then do some damage depositing your opponent in the pile of defeat. Is that the keypad to winning? Your guest is as good as mine. Let's review. My house, my rules, so please be accommodating. Are we having refund yet? I hope so, because check-in is now.
Erica, if you love Airbnb so much, did you get one for your stay in Vancouver tonight?
No, I live in Vancouver.
Exactly, that's what I thought, all right?
But I did rent my apartment out for the 3 hours that I'm here. See, Abdul, you say you don't like seeing the profiles of the people that stayed at the Airbnb before you. I love seeing the profiles. Like, it just, you see the people that slept in the bed before you, and you can just, private message them and ask them things like, where'd you hang the camera?
Yeah, that's not enticing to me at all. I don't think so.
Sorry, I travel with someone who loves me. I guess you're traveling alone.
I just don't like to put myself on the internet like that. That's all.
Okay, we might be off topic here.
You say you found a German's toenail in your Airbnb?
Yeah.
I stayed in a Motel 6 and found an actual German in my room.
That sounds like a threesome to me over there, Erica.
All right, that's the bare knuckle round. It is time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on Airbnb, brought to you by the hit song Airbnb California. You can check out anytime you like, but please don't ever leave a bad review. Thought you guys would give that a little bit more, but that's fine. No. Here we go. The website Asher and Lyric advises that you never book an Airbnb room that has 0 what? Erica?
Things to steal.
Good answer. That one woke up the thieves in the room, sure. 2.5 points. Abdul?
Bathrooms.
Yep. It's a good answer, too. This crowd's really getting into it now. You should never book an Airbnb that has 0 reviews, which makes it very difficult for your first rental. Why did Airbnb remove the Brooklyn listing of user Patrick Horton in the winter of 2016? Erica?
Guests kept hearing a who.
It's a good Dr. Seuss reference. There's some nice golf clap going around the room. I'll give you 2.5 points. No, the reason was because he was renting out an igloo he and his roommates had built. I love that story. That is thinking outside the house. One way hotels are trying to compete with Airbnb is by investing more in what type of facilities? Abdul?
College dorms.
Right? It's a good revenue stream. Erica, looking confused by the bell that she's holding in her own hand.
Bidets.
Bidets? The actual answer, fitness or gym facilities. This crowd doesn't care. That is the firing line, everybody. All right, just about time for our glorious North Vancouver audience to vote. But first, here again to tell us why she says Airbnb is the one for her, it's experienced explorer Erica Sigurdsson.
Thank you. With Airbnb, I enjoy reading the biography of the homeowner, knowing I'm getting a great deal on a place to stay, but also putting my money in their hands. The single mom renting out a basement suite to make ends meet after her husband was killed, running into a fire to save kittens. The Syrian refugee family just trying to make it in a new country. Well, that makes my heart sore. I guess these people aren't important to Abdul. No, he'd prefer we all check into a chain hotel, washing towels and throwing away plastic key cards left, right, and center, putting his money in the hands of the Hiltons and the Trumps. Airbnb is now legislated in many cities, generating tax revenue for the community while allowing folks to make a bit of money off their home. Personally, I'm in favor of helping out my neighbors, and saying no to hotels is the only turn-down service I need. Thank you.
Erica Sigurdsson. Yeah, well done. Now, to tell us why he thinks Airbnb stands for Air, Bed, and Bugs, it's talented traveler Abdul Butt.
All right, there are other options. Why settle for Creep Hotel? You can crash on a friend's couch. It reignites old memories. Airbnb-ing a couch in a stranger's living room divided by old bed sheets only reaffirms why you have no friends. You're an adult paying to sleep in a 20-year-old's makeshift hostel. Vancouver had to implement regulations because every buffoon was becoming a real estate tycoon. No one can afford the city because all the good spots were occupied by Scott, the super host. Don't blame Big Hotel, Erica. Real estate was real affordable when Howard Johnson was the only dorky named renter in town. Grow up, stay at a hotel. You deserve the dignity and free toiletries.
Abdul Butt. Abdul Butt is against Airbnbs. Erica Sigurdsson's all for it. Let's find out what the audience thinks. It's time to vote by applause. Who thinks that Abdul's anti-Airbnb assault was most awesome? Abdul Butt. Okay. Nice support for Abdul. And who thinks Erica's Airbnb bits blew up? Erica Sigurdsson. Okay. Well, I hope that's coming through on your radio. The audience has spoken, and the winner is Erica Sigurdsson. Let's keep the Airbnbs going. Big hand for Erica Sigurdsson and Abdul Butt, everybody. Well, that's all for this week. I'm Steve Patterson saying if you do stay at an Airbnb, treat it with the same TLC as you would your own HOME. I'll argue with you again soon, Canada. Good night.
The Debaters, created by Richard Side. Produced this week by Graham Clark, Nicole Callender, Katie Ellen Humphreys, and Josh Bailey. Technical production by Will Howie and Ross Bragg. Executive producer of CBC Radio Comedy is Tracy Rideout. And thanks to everyone at the Centennial Theatre in North Vancouver. Hey Toronto, The Debaters is coming to you. We'll be at the Danforth Music Hall on Tuesday, March 5th. For details, visit our website. We're cbc.ca/thedebaters.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.